October 30th, 2018. We finally leave from Norwich, our summer slip, and head north up the Connecticut River to Portland, Connecticut. The weather has been terrible for the last 3 weeks, which is why we didn't leave earlier. Today looks like it's about the best we're going to get, and that's sunny, cool, winds from the northwest at 10 to 15, gusting to 20. That's not particularly wonderful, since northwest is the direction we'll be heading in for most of the day. But time to leave. It's getting late. There's only a few boats left, and our dockmaster gives us a hand with the lines, and off we go. The sun's going to darken the picture on our camera, but it was nice up here, beautiful. We motor up the fairway and out into the turning basin here at Norwich, and then head down the Thames River for 15 miles to Long Island Sound, which is where it's going to get tacky. But this is a time to look around, check the last of the stuff on the bridge to make sure we're not going to lose anything underway. Check the engine temperature. Everything's coming along good. Time to sync the engines up a little bit and get us going downriver. Always hate to leave Norwich because we enjoyed being here so much during the summer. We're doing this trip alone today because Francis doesn't have quite the strength to be able to take a banging around out in the Sound. And as it turned out, that was a good decision. She was there to greet us when we got to Portland finally, which saved us having to drive cars back and forth to get home. So down the river we went. It's about an hour trip for us. And then turn right and go into the Sound. Sorry for the sloppy pictures, but the wind, which was every bit as what was predicted, blew up the front window, which rolls down from our fly bridge, and partially obscured the camera. I really couldn't do anything about it. I pushed it down a couple times, but I couldn't really stand up in these seas. I had to keep steering, so I just let it go. There were whitecaps all the way up 15 miles to where we turn into the Connecticut River. And we banged and slammed and banged and slammed and took some water over the front of the boat a couple times. But, you know, stick with it. What else are you going to do? Got to get home. Finally, we got to turn into the Connecticut River, which obviously is not rough at all. But the wind was blowing, and now it's right in our faces, and it is cold. This is Essex. There wasn't a boat out there, nobody. And you can see the ripples ahead in the water. That's a wind gust, and as soon as you drive into that, like right there, the wind really picks up and blows you around the fly bridge. We had long underwear, heavy sweater, a winter coat, and a watch cap on, and we were still a little bit cold. Here we're turning, following the river course going up. To our right is Hamburg Cove, which is around here a famous spot to anchor. Very pretty in the summer. And it looks like we're going to get a little bit of sun before we get there. Got a few whitecaps in the river too. This is north of Haddam, where the famous swing bridge is. We stopped there for a bathroom break, just let the boat drift, and finally went under the bridge without opening it. It was a little close this year, but we made it without touching the antennas. But the wind kept up, blowing right at us the whole time. There's really nothing to do this far up the river because we've been here so many times, 30 years. We know the channel like the back of our hand, so there isn't much to do but follow the markers and steer. You know, you watch the engine instruments and stuff, but the boat is very, very reliable. It never even shudders. You can see ahead of us there on the right is a little dot. That's a sailboat with a dinghy, with a small diesel, I guess, or an outboard. And he's way out of the channel on the right. So we kind of waved to him when we went by, indicated he should move over to his left where we are, because it's kind of shallow over where he is. And when we looked back after we passed him, it looked like he had picked up on our suggestion and moved over to where he really is supposed to be. This is about halfway up the river, and so in another hour and a quarter, we're at Middletown. Now, Middletown is across the river from where we're going to be docking, so this is almost home territory. We have about 5 miles to go at this point. And the wind's still blowing, but the foliage was pretty, nice to see. More colorful than it's been the last couple of years. Our video is marred by the salt stains on the lens, but I couldn't do much about that at this point. I hate to try to get up there and clean them for when you could possibly damage the camera. But up we went. No other boats. Not a one. They were all smarter than we were. But we were going to get there. One way or the other, we were going to get there. Francis was going to come down and pick us up. Drive down from Hartford, it's about 13 miles. He was going to pick us up, and so I wouldn't have any trouble getting home. And that was good because I was really tired. But you know, you keep your speed steady and keep your keeping the channel, and you're all set. Pretty soon we're going to be turning left, hard left, and maybe the wind will decrease a little bit. At least we hoped it would. There's our turn, and the marinas you can see on the right in the pictures. That's where we're going. We've come 33 miles since Long Island Sound, and as we approach these marinas we slow down because there's a lot of boats in the water up here still. But a lot of the wind went away, and we got to sit back for a minute and enjoy the last 1,000 yards of our summer cruising. And eventually we turn in. Got to negotiate the mooring field out there. Got to be careful of those mooring balls out there. You certainly don't want to snag one of those. Just late in the day. It was about 3:30. We left at 10 a.m. So in we go. It's time to enjoy boating again for 2 or 3 minutes. It'll be May before we're out here again. But that's okay. That's what boating in New England is like. There's very few people around over there, and there's nobody on their boats. But I spy ahead there. There are some open slips, which they carefully left for me and for others, I'm sure. I waved to Frances up on the beach and said, "That's what I want. She's going to have a good dinner for me, I know. Boy, I could use something hot right now." So let's make our last turn of the year here. Oh yeah. There's some slips. Let's grab one of those. The wind's still blowing, but not very hard, but enough to make you be careful going into a slip. There's a slip for us. Let's take the one to the right. That's going to be easier. So let's open our throttle a little bit. Let's move in there kind of smartly. Here we go. Coming in. Not exactly straight, but straight enough. Someone will be coming down to tie us up soon. And the tide in the river is going to catch the stern of the boat, push it downriver a little bit, but it doesn't make any difference. We're in now. I don't think we're going to go anywhere. So that's boating 2018, back to where we started.
Are you okay here, Kenny?
Never happy to end the summer, but
Okay.
you know, if we end this one,
As long as
we'll
I'm
look
the
forward
queen.
to next summer.